The Ruby programming language comes with a throw and a catch keyword, and these allow you to do control flow similar to goto statements in Ruby programs. Now, this isn't to be confused with what you might find in a JavaScript program of throw and catch that allows you to do exception handling. For that in Ruby, we use raise and rescue. So a throw catch works like what we have here. There's a catch block that we define, and it's given an object. This is something that catch provides to us. And then within that block, we have the doubly nested loop that does some sort of logic each time it loops. And eventually, if the next condition isn't hit, it'll reach this throw statement. And this throw statement says, I want to jump back out to whoever defined this object and return whatever this second value is as the argument. So when this throw gets hit, it'll jump back out to the catch, which will pop it outside of this doubly nested loop, despite how many more iterations there would have been for that loop. And the return value here, input 1 times input 2, is what will get assigned to answer here. Now, if the catch block were to run to termination without hitting a throw, then whatever value was returned at the end of the block is what would get assigned to answer. In this case, I have a raise because I want to raise a standard error because that's an exceptional situation if I were to ever not hit the throw in this case. So that's a nice example of how to use catch and throw to do some control flow in a nested loop. In this case, catch is not taking any argument, which is why we get this object that comes out. Now we can also use multiple catch blocks and multiple throws, and we can even define a argument for the catch block so that we don't have to pass this sort of obtuse looking object instead. So if we jump here, we can see we've got a catch block and another catch block nested within it. And the first catch block is defined with this symbol, answer found, and the inner one is defined with this symbol, next number. So these are our sort of labels that allow us to say which catch block we want the throw to correspond to. So when we reach line 40 down here, if this condition's met, then we just want to break out of this inner loop. So we'll jump back up to this next number part of the catch block, and then it will proceed. And because this catch block is nested within this other catch block, it'll pop back around up here and go into the next number that it's iterating over. Now eventually we're going to get into this conditional here. This will be met. We will have found our answer. So we return this tuple here as the result of the overall catch block. And that pops us up out of here, assigns that to result, and that part of our program completes, and we move on to the next thing. I haven't seen catch and throw much in the wild, but in the instance of these two problems and in some recent work, I found it to be a pretty handy construct. It's definitely something worth trying out to see if it fits into your own personal Ruby style.